caught a vibe, shooting shots, why not?
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is show you a quick little tutorial on my everyday makeup look. Even though I don't wear makeup every day, I just find this my go-to. It's really simple. So what I'm doing here is I already did my eyebrows off camera, and then I brought the concealer down to my eyelids, and what that does for me is it brightens up my eyes. So once I do put the concealer on my eyelid, I go ahead and set it with my setting powder. I use my NYX setting powder. It's a matte one. And then right here, I'm just going to go ahead and apply my lashes. Now, the glue that I used for this was really annoying. I usually use the black, it looks like hair glue, but it's not, it's eyelash glue. That's the most simple glue ever to do your eyelashes with. But I only had the white one for the time being, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is get all that excess powder off of my eyelids with my mascara so that the lashes that I'm putting on can look more refreshing and natural. So that's what I'm just going to go ahead and do now. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm applying my lashes. I forgot my tweezers in the bathroom, so I didn't feel like going up and getting it. So what I did was use my nails. This one was a little bit more tricky, only because the glue, like I stated before, the black glue that I usually use for my eyelashes, it's easier to maintain and to control it. With white eyelash glue, it's a little bit harder because you do have to wait longer for the lash glue to get to that tacky texture in order to stay the way you want them to. So I was having a little bit of difficulty with that because the day that I decided to record, that's when my eyelashes did not want to cooperate with me. And the only thing also about that white eyelash glue is it always leaves a white residue. It doesn't really dry clear in my eyes. So what I just go ahead and do is I get my black matte liquid eyeliner. And what I do with that is I just put it on top, right where my eyelash line is, just so it can make it look more neat. I don't want to look at white stuff on top of my eyelashes. I think that's kind of weird. So I just do that to clean it up and to make it look more full. Also around my eyelashes too, because you have to remember, when that glue dries, it dries to whatever it's attached on. So if it's attached to your lashes or, you know, your eyelash line, it can still look white. So I just like to use my liquid black eyeliner just to clean that up a bit. Alright, so I typically like to do my eyebrows and then my eyes. My eyebrows first, eyes second, and foundation and highlighting third. So what I just put up there was this really nice poreless primer by Touch and Soul. I really like that. It's a little weird too because it's really loose. It's not like a tacky matte primer. So it has like a little droplet at the beginning of the tube to apply it to your face properly. So I put a lot around my T-zone because that's where I am oily the most. So that it doesn't look, you know, nasty and sweaty. So I'm just rubbing it in with my fingertips. And the other primer that I like to use also is by Wet n Wild. It's a matte primer. It looks like Vaseline. I'm sorry. It's not Wet n Wild. That one was from Smashbox. So it looks like Vaseline, but it's actually matte primer, and that's really good too. So now what I'm doing is I'm just using what am I doing here? All right, so what I was doing was, at the time I was applying my foundation, and the foundation that I used was Smashbox, and I'm just blending it. Why can't I talk? I was blending it in with this little brush, and now I use my LA Girl Pro Concealer. That one I think is in the color Toffee, and so I use that. I really like that because it's very highly pigmented and you don't have to keep applying it, and you can just use a dry brush. It doesn't have to be damp to, you know, make it go into your skin and make it look more alive. So I only contour a little bit with this type of look because you don't want it. The whole point is an everyday makeup routine. So if you're the type of person that likes to do your makeup every day, but you don't want to go out the house just with a full beat every single day because that's a lot, you can use this technique and it's easier. So what I just showed you is my other matte powder from Black Radiance, and what I used with that was I just go ahead and I matte everything. I matte everything because my face is that oily. I have such oily skin that every foundation or anything, I always go back behind it just to make sure that it looks, you know, nice and smooth. So I use that finishing powder to, you know, matte my whole face. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Kiss Tan to Deep contour palette. It's 3 shades. The first shade, I guess, is the finishing powder. The second shade is the contour color, and the third shade is the highlighting color. It's kind of like a deep bronze. I don't really use that much as often because I don't really like sparkly highlighter, so I haven't really used that at all, really. And then I'm just contouring, like I said, lightly around my nose. I left my other contour brush in another room, so I just settled for that. It still did the same, you know, thing that I wanted it to do. And then I used a little brush because I noticed that I didn't blend in the concealer all the way. So I don't know if you ever seen somebody, when they don't blend the concealer all the way, it looks like a line across their face. That's how it looked on my nose. So I'm using now, for a little bit of, you know, gold look, I used one of the shades out of my Morphe palettes. I got that palette from BoxyCharm. Can't really remember the palette offhand. I can put it in the description box. But at the moment, on top of my head, I don't know what it is. So I like to put a little bit under my brow. It is kind of hard because I'm wearing a mat or a hat, and the only reason why I'm wearing a hat is because I just didn't feel like, you know, doing my hair and stuff. It was damp and cold and raining out, so I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it alone. But the next video I have, I will not wear a hat, so you guys can see the full look on my face. The brush that I used to put the gold color into my inner corner of my eye, it was too big, so it made it look like a big circle of eyeshadow, so I had to blend that in. And now I'm using my Estee Lauder. I forgot what the color is or the name, but it's like a pink bubblegum lip gloss. So I use that, and I really like it because it's not too sticky and it smells really good. Pink lip gloss is my favorite besides clear. So I'm gonna apply that real quick. All right, y'all. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the hard candy matte spray, finishing spray. This is my first, well, like third time using it, but I never knew that hard candy had a matte spray, so I wanted to go ahead and try it to see what it does. And it really does help. It doesn't make it too dry or it doesn't make it too dewy. It's like perfect, you know, amount of, it's the perfect balance. So I'm so glad you guys tuned into my channel. I will be uploading every Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much for your support. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.